The first team for the Call of Duty tier list branding, Atlanta FaZe.
Phase up, baby.
FaZe up. Of course,
Almost.
somehow FaZe being the one org that did not buy into the league and somehow still managed to be in the league. They found a loophole and somehow
And
they
saved $20 million at the same
saved
time.
$20 million.
I say that's a win. I really like the Atlanta FaZe logo. I love how they incorporated the actual
AF.
FaZe logo
Yep.
with obviously the A being part of it and kind of like
Stylized
keeping
like
a
it.
very like clean look, and it doesn't distract too much from, like, it's not just FaZe, although it obviously is like a big part of the logo. I like it. I think it's a really clean look. I think it's something that would look good on merch. I think the FaZe logo is like a cool logo in general. Like, I see why they're popular, right? Like, they appeal to certain crowds, and I think it's a clean look. I would make this an A tier logo. For
A
me, it's
tier.
an A tier logo. I don't say S tier because for me, I'm counting originality in it. And
Absolutely.
because there is a pre-existing, the FaZe logo is in there, I don't want to give it S tier for that reason. It's not
Because it's been
overly
around.
original, but I think it looks really good.
I will agree with you. It's a clean looking logo. I like the fact that it's not just the FaZe Clan logo. I felt
Yeah.
like they easily could have done that. They easily could have walked away and just said FaZe done, right? But what it looks to me, it looks a little similar to the Nazi symbol from Castle Wolfenstein. It looks a little bit like that.
I see where you're going with this.
A little bit like that. And for me, I don't hate the A spot,
And
but
you like the Nazi logo.
because it gives me Nazi vibes, I would have to put it at B just for that alone, out of principle. Would you like to
Knowing the
tell us
other
something?
ones, I put them at A, but I can live with the B because of the Nazi propaganda associated with it.
Okay.
I
All
can
right.
live with the B.
We will stick to B for now.
All right.
All right. Number 2. Almost doesn't seem fair to do this one so early on. Chicago Huntsmen. Look, the expectations were so high on this because the fan base is already there, which doesn't bode well considering when this logo was revealed, it got extreme backlash from the fan base, from the community. I haven't spoken to one person that likes it.
It's ugly. I mean, there is no reason they could not have had a better logo than this. For me, it's like a really basic design. And like, I love the city of Chicago. Okay. I have family in Chicago. I've traveled to
Good
Chicago
food.
20 plus times in my life. I have nothing against Chicago. I
Bad
have
football
everything.
team. Bad
Bad
hockey
football team,
team.
but they're the home of Michael Jordan, like in Wrigley Field, like two things I very much
Space
love.
Jam.
Space Jam. But for me, this logo is butt ugly.
How would this look like fitting in other situations other than just a logo, right? How would this look like on a hat, a shirt, a jersey? This has way too much going on.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not a fan of it. I think it, like, the axes with the glossy coat that they tried to do on there, the way the handles have just a little bit too much texture. Like, I think a flat look might have been better, but I just don't understand like the symbolism to it.
I don't
Tim,
know.
I'm gonna go low on this one. Okay, we're probably gonna be somewhat close. I'm thinking, because there has to be E's and F's, right? Like, this can't be like
This
we're
ain't
gonna be all
when this
friendly
ain't
and
no
everyone's gonna be
medium of the
B, C,
mill.
D.
Yeah, we're not
Like,
here to play favorites.
it's got to go towards the bottom.
I'm gonna say F.
Let's go F.
Number 3, our very own. It's our local team here. The Dallas Empire.
This is gonna come off so biased.
It
This
it
is not gonna
really,
this
really
is
will, and
not
I
gonna
kinda
work
don't like
well.
that.
Yeah, like, it's really unfortunate that our home team came up in my mind with the badass logo.
I still don't love the name Empire. Like, for me, that just screams New York,
That is
right? Like,
true, it does.
being from Dallas or living in Dallas, I've never once thought Empire, right? Like, you just Empire, that goes with New York. Empire State Building, Empire State of Mind, or whatever, that's a saying, right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I always think of it. I didn't really get the logo at first, but when I realized that they have the hidden NV in the logo in the crown, I really fell in love with the look of it. I love that integration that's not obvious, kind of like how, like FaZe did, but it was just obvious, right?
The
This
Lone
kind of
Star
was,
State, they have the star on there,
yep,
you know? For me, it wins on originality. I think it hits the feels, like you said, with the NV logo being integrated into it. I think it looks good on merch. Um, and then when you kind of read what you're showing here on screen, but like the reasoning behind it, building an empire and all this, like it makes a little bit more sense why they went with the
entrepreneurial.
name.
I mean, that's where, Mike Rafael, he kind of started, right? Like one of a player turned owner, and now has like one of the more successful, like top, what was it, top 5, top 10
Yeah,
most valuable orgs. I know you're thinking S tier, correct?
in my head, yeah, I am.
Okay. We will put it at S tier because without talking about all the other logos and the brands, I do think it's the better one. Like, I don't like the name, but the branding, the color scheme, I
I'm
really,
trying to
really
read
do
right
love
now.
it. It looks clean as hell. So, next on the list, Florida Mutineers. Another team where before they released the color scheme and the logo, I wasn't a fan of the name, but I kind of grew to really love it. I'm not going to lie. Like when they first revealed the color scheme and the logo, the Davy Jones looking, Cthulhu looking mascot thing, I really, really do like this. It's very Florida to me.
I like it. I don't love it. I like the color scheme is not bad to me.
It's
I keep
unique,
thinking too much of Pirates of the Caribbean when I see it. Like that's the first thing that I thought of when I saw this was, Pirates of the Caribbean. It looks like the guy from there. Like it almost looks like an exact image of it, but it
right?
makes sense, right? Like it makes sense to the location, the colors. Again, vibe with the area. I feel like it's not a bad look. But would I wear a hat with that on there? Like, personally, me, no. Um, I think it looks a little like kitty, I guess if that makes sense, if that's the right word, like little childish look to it.
Right, right.
But I do think it's like it has a clean look. Um, I think we're gonna be a little different here. Like I
Right.
like it. I don't love it.
For me, I would personally put it as an A tier. For me.
If I told you where I'm at a C tier on it. Because I do
C.
like the phase. Yeah, I like the phase logo better than I like the Mutineers logo.
All right.
Um,
So if we're at
it
A, I'm at A, you're at C, can we agree
we
for B?
we can agree for B.
All
I
right.
think that's fair. I
All
think
right.
that's fair.
All right. Next on the list here, the London Royal Ravens. Okay, just tell me about the logo. Our team is hungry and passionate. I don't care. The idea behind our name, the London Royal Ravens, stem from the legend of the Tower Ravens. Okay, I knew that. I knew London they had those ravens. It has been said that Kingdom of the Tower of London will fall if the 6 resident ravens ever leave the fortress. We have 7 ravens at the tower today. The required 6 and 1 to spare. Additionally, Charles II is thought to have been the first to insist that the ravens of the towers are to be protected. Our team represents the Guardians of London. We look forward to protecting their crown. So, with
So
that being said, what do you think?
It's to me, it looks like a really simple like image where if I was doing a generator and trying to like, pick and match, hey, you could take this symbol and this
Like
outline. Like
they
it's
straight up got
really
this off of Madden Create a Team.
yeah, like it's really, really basic to me. The Royal Ravens also doesn't have
Could
like
they
a
have done
great
Ravens?
tune.
London Ravens would have sounded
I
better.
kind of like that better. Like I get it, you want to put the royal in there. It also ties and brings the London theme together. Um, but not a big fan. Like I just think it's really basic. Like yeah, it could look okay on merch. Like it's not gonna be the worst looking logo. I don't think it's the worst logo out of all of them, but I do put it on the bottom half. Like to me, this is falling into that DE category, and I would feel pretty confident in thinking that that will shift a lot after we go through them.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in E then for you, right? Can we say E?
Yeah, I would
I
feel
don't.
pretty
I'm
comfortable
not
with
in
it
love
being
with
E,
the color scheme. I'm not in love with the name. I'm not in love with the logo. It just fell
but it's
short.
better than Huntsman.
I wanted more,
Yeah, I
but it's
agree.
not ugly. So moving on here, I think this was actually the first team now that I see it, or at least leaked. Los Angeles, the first Los Angeles team on the list. It is the LA Gorillas, not like the monkey, but the people who fight. I guess that would be the
Yeah,
other
guerrilla
definition for.
warfare.
Yeah, guerrilla
Yeah,
warfare. There we go. I don't hate the name. I do think like between like LA and gorillas, I don't know why, but maybe it's like with the LAPD corruption. I just think guerrilla warfare, right? All the
educate me
fighting on the
on
street.
why they chose this.
All right. Yeah, let's not assume anything here. The team vibrant. Ooh, another one without explaining the logo. That's a hit. That's it. When you can't explain to me why you chose the logo, I'm questioning I'm questioning if you put any thought into it.
Well, so since they won't explain it, I'll tell you why I'm a little confused by it. The name doesn't bother me. The Los Angeles Guerrilla, sure, like guerrilla warfare, that sounds
Yep.
cool. But that's not the picture that comes to mind when I think of guerrilla warfare. I'm almost thinking like bandana, guy
Yeah.
like
Like a
Rambo
Molotov
style,
somewhere.
just something that's more like in the trenches, sneaking through. And I know this has like a hood on, but that's not what I think of when I think of guerrilla warfare, at least. And
Right.
so if that's what they were going with, I think they kind of missed the mark there. Um
Looks like
Again, the
Spider Gwen,
logos,
right? Like if you're familiar with if you've seen like Into the Spider Verse, looks like
yeah,
Gwen from there.
it does. It
Uh
does.
Kind of looks like a ninja at the same time.
It, it looks like I paid somebody on Fiverr like $50 to make me a stream logo. What does guerrilla warfare have to do with Los Angeles?
I, did like they have riots? Did Los Angeles have riots?
But yeah, the LA riots were like some of the most popular,
But
famous
you're
riots.
not naming your team out of a race riot. Could you
I would hope
imagine?
not. That's where they
Oh
got the name.
god. Oh,
Again,
that'd be
I
terrible.
find this to be on the lower end. Like it's not that appealing to me. I actually, we'll kind of see this theme from the LA side of things here, but this falls into a DE category for me again. I would put this on the lower end.
Yep. Now this might be our first switch then. So if this is going to be an E, because I do think it falls in E, right?
Okay.
I would think then London bumps up to a D
You like London's like enough to give it a slot over it?
because London is carrying over historical factors like Royal Ravens.
Okay, so there's a story behind the
Because there's a
logo.
story behind their logo and why they have it, it's meaningful to the city. I can get behind it.
Okay, I can go with that.
Up next, Minnesota is it Rocker? Have we ever learned how to say this?
I know we're probably butchering this, but we can go with Rocker.
Rocker? I won't lie to you. When I first saw it, I absolutely 100% hated it. I thought they were trying to be gamer. I thought they were trying to be edgy and funny and like, look, let's put two Ks in it. and put a slash through the O, and isn't that so gamer elite? And then I was proven that I was an idiot. You do have also the Minnesota Vikings. Like, for whatever reason, that city has really adopted that Viking Norse
Yeah.
background. It could be because it's like negative 100 degrees in the winter, so they just feel Viking-esque. I don't know. But they kept the purple for that. Again, that city branding. I think their logo is pretty badass. Like, that
I like
would look
it.
good on merch. I
Yeah.
love the background story behind it.
And you
It's
see the dark to light transition that they kind of did there with the logo.
Yep.
The story is great. The name is cool, right? Like
Now
if it
that you
was
know
just
it,
for
right?
gamer reasons, I would
I would
agree.
hate it.
Like, oh man, they're trying to be like that group. But now you understand, the mythology behind it and why they went the way that they did. So this gets like several bonus points for me. Um,
Right.
I definitely think this is S to A tier worthy.
I think it would be S. So I had it at S tier. This was an S tier logo for me.
Okay,
So we will
I'm
put
there
it
with
up
you.
right with Dallas then, as far as being S tier. Because like
Yeah,
I said, they hit every when you are trying to design a team, I feel like they hit every point. They have relationship to the city, teams that have already been there, a badass logo, a nice color scheme, a cool story behind it.
it all
Knocked it out of
feels
the park.
fitting. Like it works. Yeah, it just
Yeah,
really works there.
really, really good on Minnesota's part. Now, up next, the New York Subliners. Now, this one I've been getting mixed thoughts on because I think the name is awful. To me, Subliners, I get it, Subway, Subline, whatever. To me, though, it almost sounds like it's too easy to make fun of and kind of have like negative connotation. Like, it almost sounds like you're sublining it, like you are flatlining. To me, that's what it sounds like. I don't know if a subliner is an actual word or did they make it up. Yeah, no, it looks like they definitely made it up. So that's all already. I don't like it then. You're making
Yeah.
up words to call yourself from a New York City team, subliners, because you use a subway. Uh, I don't know.
At least there's a relation there, though, right? There's like something tying it to the city.
I don't know, dude. I'm not buying it. Like, I am not a fan. I'm not a fan of the name. I'm not a fan of the logo. It's funny because it's like the NYXL in the Overwatch League. Like, their logo is pretty much theirs, but a circle. I don't get their logo. I don't get this logo. I don't know if it's something like with New York that I'm missing that just likes lines. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there with you for the most part. Like, I don't think the logo is like horrendous. I don't think it's great, but like, it's again, I've seen worse. It's not basic. At least they kind of had some thought in what they did. Whether we agree with the reasoning or not, it's a different story. Oh no, I don't know. I'm thinking on this one. You have it around that C marker.
I would put it C
I'll
for
I'll, go,
me.
I'll be comfortable with C. I'll be
Be,
comfortable with C. I like it
because
better than Royal Ravens.
it's more
So
original than Royal Ravens. Like, even the logo, like we said, like,
yeah,
although it is just circle with lines, I do feel like it was at least an original circle with lines.
yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't just like a clip art Raven that you did red. Moving up here is the second Los Angeles team, also known as Optic Gaming Los Angeles. Flipped it around. So you have that right there that stands out to you. Kind of did a soccer move there, right? So you have Optic Gaming Los Angeles. Of course, Optic Gaming, everyone knows, they're the only true brand that is carrying over from the CWL days of past. Uh, this one's interesting because there's not really much to talk about with the branding. Everyone knows Optic. Everyone knows the history behind it. It really just comes down to, for me, comparing it to the other logos. Where does it sit?
So
Because I'm going to say I will penalize them for having no originality. They didn't even throw an LA in it at all. Kind of like Atlanta FaZe at least threw an A in there, right? They literally just took what they had and said, this is good.
I have never liked the Optic Gaming logo. So I don't hate on Optic the way you do. I think everybody knows that. All of our listeners that have actively listened to this show know that I don't have this pure hatred towards Optic, but I'm all about the TCR curse. They deserve all the stuff that we've thrown on them. It had to happen. Like
So
it was
F
meant to
tier.
be. Yeah, this is going F tier for me. It really is. I'm not even joking. That's the sad part. It's not original. I wanted to see originality with all the other logos, and I saw it to some extent,
I
and it's
like
not even Hex's optic.
And like I
So
said,
it's
I like
like,
what they've built, like green wall, right? I love the fact that they have the green wall and the green wall army or whatever, and
yeah, 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 yeah.
I like that. I like the fan base and everything. But again, I this is an interesting one because I don't want to give them credit for that, right? It's kind of like, no, this is looking at the branding for the Call of Duty League.
And this has
You
nothing to
didn't
do
do
with what
much.
they've built, right? This is not what this tier list is. This tier list is just about the branding. And they didn't come up with the branding. It's just a carryover. It's
And
not
also, when
original.
most of your fan bases has turned on that branding, you really probably should. I'm not saying rebrand. Obviously, you paid the money to keep Optic Gaming. And
It does.
definitely the public perception of them comes into play. And the fact that you did nothing to try to spice up your logo to help differentiate yourself and just not trying to be like, yeah, we just bought this team and suck it. That's kind of where it falls flat for me. Paris. Paris Legion. Now this one's funny because to me it immediately looks like New Orleans, but I knew New Orleans also looks like Paris because the whole French thing that they're stealing.
Hmm.
So I won't bash them for that. New Orleans stole it from them. The color scheme works for me. I like it. It's different.
I like it too.
So
Yeah.
you,
The color looks nice. I actually don't mind the name. I think Paris Legion sounds pretty cool. Like
Paris
it's
Legion sounds badass.
yeah, like doesn't have a bad ring to it at all. Um I think the logo is okay. Like I'm not in love with the
It's
logo, but
not
I get it.
original. It's
Yeah,
not
it's not
original.
original,
This
but
is
I get it.
this is what you would see from a New Orleans team, from any other Paris team. The logo is just kind of it's generic. It's safe. For
Let,
me, I would also put this at a C tier.
let me see our tier list real quick.
Yeah.
We gave subliners points for originality, not because we love the name
Yeah.
subliners, right? So here's what I'm thinking, Tim. I think
Dude,
we might have to make a little bit of a move here, you know?
okay. Okay.
Um, I got this in the AB range for me.
I think
Okay.
you just convinced me to put it in A. I think
I
I just
think
went.
that's where it belongs.
I think I
I
went from
really
a
do.
C to an A, just like that. I went from putting them to a C and an A, ladies and gentlemen. Unheard of. A 2-spot jump for the Paris Legion. Who would have saw that coming? All right, let's get over here to Seattle Surge.
If this was for any other city, like if there was another city that used this logo, I wouldn't like it nearly as much. I think it's just fitting for the city. The color scheme, like you said, kind of matches all the other Seattle-based teams' color scheme. Um, Originality is there. Man, I mean, to me,
Surge.
this falls into the B category. Personally, again, I like it better than subliners. So either subliners needs to get knocked down a notch, or this is a
See,
B
I
A
like it more than
category.
Paris Legion, though. Are you saying you like Paris way more than Seattle?
I would put them both A. I think it has enough originality.
I would
I'm
put
not a big fan. So the Surge, it's not a bad name,
Seattle
you know.
Surge. No, reminds me of a pop. Wasn't a pop named Surge?
Yeah, Surge was great. It was like green.
All right. So right now we have that over. So let's kind of do this. We have it over because I feel like we're kind of on the fence on where it belongs. We have it on the same tier as Paris and above FaZe and Florida.
Yeah, I like it better than Florida's logo. Again,
Really?
Florida's logo to me looks a little like kiddish, and I can't get over it. Like I keep seeing Pirates of the Caribbean every time I see it, and it just
I definitely think that was an inspiration
and
for it.
I wouldn't
But then
rock
again,
it. Like I
Florida
would
has
not wear
Disney,
it.
right?
That's yeah.
Like
So is
Florida,
California.
Disney, like if there's a state to rock Pirates of the Caribbean,
We went on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in
that's right.
California together, you know?
Yep.
No, I
Like
just wouldn't wear the Mutineers logo on any merch. That's my problem with it. I think it's original. I think the color scheme is good. I just wouldn't wear it. I can tell you want to knock this up a tier.
I do want to knock it up. I think it's better than Paris. It gives me better feeling. When I close my just close your eyes, Anuj. Close your eyes with me. Are you closing your eyes?
They're closed.
Tell me what you see.
A B.
A B. Where are they at right now?
Okay, but I
They
see where
are
you're
a B.
coming from, Tim. I do see where you're coming from. If they release some cool merch without the logo on it,
just no just release merch. No logo though.
no logo. Like, if they went with like a shirt with like the one that you showed with like the octopus, see that looks badass.
That
That
gun?
gun camo.
Right.
That gun camo.
And like
Pull that
here's
up, Tim.
some
Let me see that gun camo real quick. That's clean.
it does and look at the color scheme. The blue and
Yeah.
orange. It looks good to me. I really think we're not doing it justice by being a B tier with Nazi
Okay.
phase.
Does this stack our A tier too heavily by doing this? I
I
think
think
if we do this,
if we do
this
this,
is what would need to
Paris
happen.
goes to B.
I think so. I do think so. I think Paris would have to go to B if Florida went to A.
All right. That's what I think. Because again, the logo for Paris is just you have a cool name and a good color scheme. But the
Yeah.
logo is just so generic French. It hurts. It hurts me. It's
No,
so
that's
generic.
fine. I can live with this. I can live with this movement here.
So last but certainly not least, Toronto Ultra.
Explanation needed.
A lot of explanation needed. Right away though, their colors pop. It's
do pop.
purple and white, and it's not like a deep purple. It is a purple that pops. All right. So when thinking through, I don't care. Okay, here we go. Because again, their logo. At first, I didn't understand what their logo was. I mean, obviously, it's supposed to be a U, but I was like, all right, it's a goofy looking U. And I started seeing people with squirrels. So
Yeah,
this
it's
is
got the
it.
squirrel on the right side.
Well, it's like and then the tail, right? So it's like
Yeah,
a squirrel popping up, like, oh, what's going on, right? So when we were thinking through what to call ourselves, our minds traveled through a galaxy of possibilities: animals, historical connections, tough guy references, and even deep sounding monikers. But in the end, we felt that we were trying too hard. We're ultra, and like Toronto, we love what we mean. We love that what we mean is whatever you represent. What? We're ultra, and like Toronto, we love that what we mean is whatever you represent. So whatever you represent, they mean it. That's kind of a catch-all there. Okay. Proud, humble, smooth, whatever you are. Ultra is just the beginning of it. I like how it's like they're not really committing to anything. It's just whatever you represent and whatever you are.
Choose what our name means to you. That's what we are.
We're ultra, baby. We're ultra. But what does that mean? It means what you mean.
What the hell does ultra mean?
I don't know. It means what you represent. Whatever you want to be, Anuj, is what ultra is.
Is what we are. Okay.
Our logo is a representation of just that. We're bringing Bellwood's white squirrel to the world's view. To us, it's a show of our city's character, a symbol that even the smallest parts, what make us who we are worth celebrating. They really do like squirrels there. So it does tick the box off of, city, tying it to your city. And I love the fact that like they own it, right? It's like, hell yeah, bro, it's a squirrel. So that's cool. They really, I feel like the Ultra name is almost like an inside joke. Like it's a meme. Like they were like, guys, let's name it Ultra. Why? Why Ted? What does that mean? It means whatever you want it to mean. Like, no. But what are we going to tell people? It just means whatever you want it to mean. It's Ultra. Like, okay, let's do it. Their colors pop. I like it. I like their color scheme.
I'll
Do they
give
have a
them I'll give them a good grade on the color scheme. It does pop. Um,
their
the name
hashtag is so ultra and so has two O's. So is that another reference I'm missing?
I have a little bit more insight here if you would like me to read this.
They
I'm getting a little bit
retweeted a
more.
shirt with someone saying ultra as fuck. I do like that they embrace that. All right. And what were you saying? You have
So
some
this is
inside?
Overactive Media, right? Like that's who owns Toronto Ultra.
Correct. Yeah.
Chris Overholt is the CEO. So he got asked, "Why did you decide upon Toronto Ultra as a franchise's name?" We went through quite a process, yada yada yada. He goes, "I think we were one of the first, if not the first, to signal to Activision Blizzard that we were interested in being a franchise holder. We had time to be thoughtful this time around. We've had time to be engaged and to really think hard on what we wanted for our fans. Mm, there is a lot of pseudo seriousness to this title in particular, but what our fans told us consistently is that this is what they want to do for fun. So as a brand, we thought we would try to land on what we would try to land on is like nicely. So I think from what you'll see starting tonight, this explains nothing. This is going F tier right now based on the CEO's explanation to me. I'm reading
again,
this
again,
and
it's
there's
because
no logic.
I don't think they know why they picked Ultra. It's just
I
because it's Ultra. Like I think
I
they just
really
did it
thought I
because they
was
could.
gonna see an explanation here
No, I think they did it just for the
because they
sole
asked him
purpose of being like,
directly.
we're Ultra. Like, dude, this is Ultra cool. Like, that's
Pull
going
up
to
the
be a
tier
beat
list.
down.
Let me see where this has to go. I need to
Now,
look at
again,
where other ones are at.
their logo is Ultra, but in the back, you can't really see it. Let me zoom in here. Okay. That is a squirrel. It's like a white. You see the tail on the left, the head is over there, peeking over. It makes a U. The logo to me is very clean and original. My hang up here is at the end of the day, it is a squirrel. I would say this would instantly be an S tier for me, Anuj, if their hashtag was go nuts.
Hey, we could start that.
That would have been S tier quality branding.
I think they'll have cool merch.
Yep. It looks like they're having fun.
The logo I don't mind because it has some significance to it. The name I have more of the issue with because it means absolutely nothing. Like it's just a blind name.
Literally, they just
But
picked it.
but I'm gonna give them bonus points with the squirrel not popping too much.
It's very subtle. That would look
I'm
really good on a hat
I'm
or a
gonna
shirt.
go B tier for them, Tim.
All right. I'm with you. I think we did a really, really good job. And you know what? Hopefully our listeners agree, but if not, that's what the Discord is for. You go on our Discord, let us know what you think. Let us know who's your S tier and who's your F tier, because that's really what I'm interested in,
Yeah.
right?
Who's
Like
the
the
best? Who's the worst?
in-betweens, you can always debate and argue. Give me your best and worst branding. There could be more than one for each, but that's what I want to know. Give me the best and worst of your brands. But you know what? Congratulations, Dallas Empire and Minnesota Rocker. What a huge accomplishment for them to be S tier for the official center ring CDL branding tier list. Like, what an honor. Like,
And this obviously means they're going to meet each other head to head in the finals. That's what I get out of this.
100%.
This is supposed to be a branding tier list and have nothing to do with the teams. But now I've kind of shifted. I think this is also the balance of power within the league.